my lives on the Monday, and then what I will check, if the sound quality is too poor, then I'm going to record this as a recorded video and then upload it later, because it's proper windy. The sound, as people have said, I need an external mic, which I haven't got yet. It's really hot as well. It's not that it's cold, but it's the breeze is a bit too strong. So what I want to talk about, and I'll try and keep this short as well, so that you obviously can hear me as well, is finding peace amongst the chaos. So because there's so much going on in the world at the minute, and especially in the UK, lots of people are feeling a little bit, unsettled, if you like. It's not like it's a surprise about some of the things that are happening, but I think it's still causing people to just, feel a bit low. Some of my clients are coming to me saying they're feeling low about all the issues that are going on. There are people close to me who are, noticing it. So if they live in certain areas, they're noticing obviously all of these flags going up, and they're wondering why. They're noticing a lot of aggression towards them. They're starting to think, are they going to be able to go to certain places or not? And so I think it's about some of these things that you can do, because when you feel out of control, it's about looking at what is in your control. What are some things or actions that you can take? So what I would say to people is, even for myself recently, I used to, or I do still go on social media a lot. I used to engage in lots of these discussions or debates, and recently this week I did engage in a discussion. And if someone seems reasonable and they seem quite open-minded, there's times where I will engage in the conversation, but then quickly, normally, it will start to get to a point where they're not understanding me, I'm not understanding them, and I might just say that, we're not understanding each other, let's agree to disagree, and then we'll just leave it at that. Other times, because of the nature of some of the comments or some of the things that I'm seeing, I'll just disengage and I say I don't really want to talk to this person, because I can clearly see that it's going to cause an issue. They're just not, the type of people that I want to talk to. So, because there's lots of toxic things online, the news is propagating it, and so is social media, but there is lots of toxic, sexist, racist stuff online, which is really affecting people. One of the things you can do about that, oops, I nearly lost my camera then. One of the things you can do about that is you can be selective in terms of censoring what you watch, what you hear, what you engage with. You have control over that. So that is one way you can protect your peace and avoid the chaos, is by being really selective on what you're going to see on social media, how much you're going to watch the news, the conversations that you're going to choose to engage in with other people. That's a big one. We have a lot of control and power over that. The second thing is, it's important to not allow the chaos or the noise to dampen your spirit or change your mood or affect how you feel. So what's been happening with myself, so whoever's joined, thanks for joining. I can't see who it is, but thank you. What's been happening with myself, or what was happening a few weeks ago, I was engaging with conversations, and then they were so negative that I was starting to then question myself. I was starting to say, does everyone in the UK feel this about black people? Do people really hate me, because without even knowing me? Or I was thinking, when I'm walking down the street, are people going to be judging me on who I am? Or I was just going into this spiral way of thinking. I've never really done that before. I've lived in the UK my whole life. I have had incidents of racism. I don't think any black or brown person living here will say they've never experienced racism. Everyone has in some forms. But I've always felt comfortable living here. It's never been an issue, but recently when I've been going online, TikTok especially, but also on YouTube, you see someone's profile and they just look like a normal person. It could be a grandma, it could be a young person, it could be someone who looks quite decent, and you might think, oh, there'd be anyone you'd work in an office with or whatever. But then when you see the words, you think, how can those words come out of someone's mouth? It doesn't match with them. Because it's not just, normal conversations that people are seeing. It's vile, disgusting, toxic, things that someone would never say to someone's face. I'm not in the situation where I've ever had people come up to me and be as vile as and it's because it's online. So I suppose what's happening is, the more people are online, they're thinking, well, we can get away with saying the worst thing we would ever say. You would never. And there's people with profile pictures of their children and things, and I'm thinking, I said to someone recently, how would you feel if someone said that to your daughter? How would you feel if someone said that to your mum? You wouldn't really appreciate that. But so I think but don't let that change like how you feel about yourself. Don't let that then mean that you're going to start thinking everyone thinks like that, because the other thing is a minority of people who feel a certain way online doesn't represent the majority of people. So you have to still maintain your optimism. You have to maintain your vibe. You know, I'm someone that will talk to anyone. I'm someone that will engage. I'll go to different places. I'm not just going to say, oh, I'm not going to go to this place because I'm the only black face there, or I'm not going to engage with this person, because I'll never live like that, and I'll never live like that. You know, I'll always live with an open way of thinking, not because I'm a counsellor, but because that's how I choose to live. But when you're online, or when you're seeing the news, and when you're seeing things, it can make you feel as though that people are biased towards like you if you're say a minority, but that's not the case. So you just have to maintain yourself. And the next one, as I've said, don't think that everyone online represents everyone in real life. When you're walking about your day to day, the majority of people are just trying to get through. The majority of people in the world are just trying to get through each day. That everyone's struggling in some ways, and that's the other thing. People don't always look and think, well, this person's struggling, so instead they make that person the enemy. As someone said yesterday, working class people are tired, they're angry, they're sick of like not having anything. And then I'm thinking, yeah, but they're then projecting onto other people that don't have anything. If you're angry with the system, then why not go down to like 10 Downing Street, or why not like speak to your MP, or why not talk to the people in power that can actually change how you're feeling? The people who you're writing against or you're being racist towards, they're not in a position where they're already down, so they can't lift you up. So why is your anger being directed at them? So yeah, I was trying to have that type of conversation, because we're all struggling. You know, it's like when people are talking about certain things, oh, you don't understand because you're a counsellor, or you don't understand because you this or you that. And I think, well, I might not understand fully that side of things, but no one's perfect. We've all got our struggles. So the final thing really is to continue to plan, prepare mentally and practically. Focus on your goals. The biggest thing I can say, the biggest thing that has helped me over the years, when there's ever been stuff going on, whether it's COVID, I still worked all the way through COVID. I still have had emergency funds being saved during bad times. You know, don't wait for governments to change. Don't wait for people to change. Don't wait for situations to change. Keep planning and preparing anyway. You know, that's been my motto throughout all of my life. Planning, preparing, setting goals, you know, and not always waiting for things to change, for things to get better. You can start with yourself. You can say, I'm going to make a goal that I'm going to do something differently, and that might make a difference. So yeah, that's all I want to say really, is protect your peace. It's important to put things in perspective. If you continue to go and do your habits that you do, if it means that you have to come to a place like this, like me, I always get out of the house every day, go for a nice walk. I'm going to sit in this bench, just be completely quiet after I've done this live stream. Just do something, go and speak to a friend, be on the phone and have a nice chat, go and treat yourself to a nice ice cream or a meal, do something. But all I'm saying to people is that we're not going to win in life when we're just fighting against each other. I don't want to get political and everything. I just think everyone is bringing each other down. Like what all you've got to do is just say to yourself, what do you need for yourself right now? What do you need for your family right now? What do you need that will give you peace right now? What do you need to protect you from the chaos, from the noise, from all of that stuff? So thank you for watching. As I've said, this might be too windy. I've got to play it back, and if it does sound a bit too much, I will make a video inside talking about the same thing, and then I will upload it later, and I want to